Welcome, my political friends of the interwebs. I know I've been MIA for a while now. Not a ton of time, not like the last time, but I've been very, very busy. If you are not following me over on my Mad Bad Voodoo channel, then you probably do not know that I have a book now. I'm a published author. This is the Colonel Richard Hunter, The Evolution of My Photography, volume number 1. Yes. It's a blurb book, kind of a vanity project, but it is for sale, and there have been people who have been buying it, and I'm very, very, very thankful for that. Yeah, this is not going to be about that. Although there will be a link down below. I wouldn't buy the hardcover. It's too much money. Unless you really, really are a fan of some of the people that's in this, some of the models that are in Krista Blade and Julia Steele and Kimberly. But the PDF version is $10, $9.99. I make $5 on each sale of that. And you know what? If you can help me out with that, that would be awesome. It would go a long way to helping supply the models with ammo. Ammo. People always ask me, why aren't you having more guns being shot? Blah, 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 blah. Well, because it costs money to do that, and YouTube ain't like it used to be. In the old days, I could make a video, put a girl in a bikini, have her shoot a freaking gun, and make, you know, hundreds of dollars. Those days, that ship has sailed. That ship has sailed. Anyway, now, yeah, I'm lucky if I break even, and even if that happens, it's a long time for it to even happen. Anyway, blah, 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 enough of all that shit. If you can help me out, then do. So let's talk a little politics, because I'm all about it. I'm all about it, because I'm kind of fired up. I'm kind of fired up today. As you know, Michael Flynn had to resign, and, you know, that is what it is. I'm not really all that concerned. There's some pretty good replacements on the way. I don't know all the details about that, nor do I care. He had to go, so he resigned. It is as simple as that. I like that Admiral guy. I think he's going to slide in there. Yeah, which is cool. I liked Michael Flynn. The Democrats are so pissed off because supposedly, and I don't know, true, not true, makes no difference to me, supposedly the Russians interfered with our political elections. Now, let me touch on that for just a minute, okay? Just a minute. Actually, I'll touch on it for a few minutes. Even if the Russians hacked the DNC, even if the Russians got a hold of Hillary's campaign manager's emails, even if all that's true, first of all, do not think for a second that we don't hack the shit out of them all the time, too. Everybody's hacking everybody. That's just the way it is. In today's world, if you're so stupid as to have incriminating stuff on your servers, especially your email servers, then you're an idiot. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, so if the Russians hacked the DNC and Hillary's campaign manager, I don't know why I can't think of his name, Leon Panetta, I think it was him. Anyway, it doesn't matter. And they found out incriminating stuff, like, for example, the Democrats, the DNC, along with Hillary Clinton's campaign, in conjunction with the media, all conspired to trick-fuck Bernie Sanders. If the Russians exposed the election fraud that was going on by the Democrats, good. I know, I said it. Good. The Democrats shouldn't have been pulling that kind of douchebaggery. And by the way, I just want to get this out here too. I have actually less than zero respect for Bernie Sanders. I know I have friends that are Bernie fanatics, but I got to tell you something right now. You could make a point, although it was, you know, I mean, it's hard to make a point for a communist. I don't care what anybody says. You could have made a point for Bernie with me before he found out legit that the DNC and Hillary Clinton and the media conspired to fuck him in the ass. But you could not, from the point afterwards that he literally dropped to his knees and started licking his own shit off of Hillary Clinton's strap-on, at that point, actually it was more like a circle jerk. Hillary Clinton strap-on, you had, Donna Brazil strap-on. I mean, you know, it was all the way around. You know, MSNBC, CNN strap-on. And there's Bernie down there just licking shit, licking shit, licking shit. His own shit. From that point on, I had no respect for him, was incapable of ever having any respect for him. Because Bernie Sanders knows, beyond any kind of shadow of a doubt, that that's what they did to him. And then he turned around and he endorsed Hillary Clinton. Are you fucking kidding me? He should have sued her. He should have sued the DNC. He should have sued the media. He should have sued all of them for election fraud and denying him his rightful spot, because I think we all pretty much know, had they not done that, and they knew this too, that's why they did what they did. Bernie Sanders would have been the Democrats' nominee for the President of the United States. It's that freaking simple. They weren't going to have that for various reasons. One, they just didn't think the country was going to elect a socialist. I'll just call him a socialist, whatever. Communist, socialist, it's all the same to me. They knew that the country as a whole would not go for that. They knew that. I think even then, a lot of people knew that Donald Trump was a real force to be reckoned with, and I think in their minds they at least thought Hillary had a chance. Although, in hindsight, maybe they should have thought a little harder about that. Because Hillary didn't have a rat's chance. She didn't have a Chinaman's chance in hell of beating Donald Trump. And they should have known that. All their freaking self-grandizing fake polls and fake news and all that stuff combined wasn't going to fix it. There was a guy, though, I think that probably would have had a chance. And offhand, I can't think of his name, and I'm sorry about that, but he was running for the nomination. For the DNC, the Democrats' nomination, and he was in the first, I think, 2 debates, and then, you know, the writing was on the wall. He didn't have the money to keep going forward, and yeah, then that was it for him. But I think he was the most reasonable Democrat that I'd ever known, I'd ever seen, or at least seen in a very long time. Pro-energy, pro-military. You know, there was a lot of things that guy had going for him that I think that. He probably could have been, he would have actually, in all honesty, he's somebody I could have voted for. But no, the Democrats had to make themselves choose between a socialist / communist and Hildebeest. That's, you know, I mean, I could have beat either one of them. Yes, and I'm not joking when I say, very serious when I say that. So, yeah, we live in bizarro time. It's just bizarro time. So yeah, I mean, you know, the DNC and Hillary and all the media in general can bitch and moan about the Russians all they want, but the truth of the matter is, the Russians would not have been able to affect our elections at all, assuming, of course, that they're the ones that hacked. And I'll just go ahead and give it to them. Okay, had the Democrats not had that douchebaggery, that election fraud that they were perpetrating. Because that's what the Russian hacks, that's what the WikiLeaks showed. That the Democrat Party and Hillary Clinton were in bed together along with the media, and they were all colluding to basically screw over Bernie Sanders. So it's freaking precious to me when I hear these, it's all these Democrats want to talk about, all the left-wing media wants to talk about the Russians, the Russians, the Russians, the Russians. You know what? How about you quit trying to drown out all the facts by yelling the Russians? The truth of the matter is, you did it to yourselves. And I mean, that's just a fact. And the minute that you don't think, the second that you don't think, and I know you probably don't think that, you know, we're hacking them. Listen, we are hacking everybody. Everybody hacks everybody. Moral of the story is, if you're going to commit election fraud as the Democrat Party, you might not want to have emails. You might want to do courier or some shit. Literally, courier. You know, I mean, because, really? You know, and you're making a big stink of the Russians, the Russians, the Russians. Here's another thing I want to say about the Russians. And I'm going to segue into a little bit about Lindsey Graham and John McCain. The Democrats, Lindsey Graham and John McCain, or lunatics, they're probably all in the same. But I listen to the left-wing media and I listen to the Democrat Party bang on about Russia as if they want the Cold War just to be very much rekindled. And what they don't understand, a lot of people today don't get it because they're not in my generation. They're much younger. The millennials don't have any clue. If there's a millennial watching this video, just pay attention to what I'm about to say, just because I don't think you know this. Every major city in North America, Canada, United States, every major city, every major port, every major oil refinery in this country and in Canada has an IBCM, which, by the way, in case you don't know, intercontinental ballistic missile. Okay, intercontinental ballistic missile means it can go from one continent to the other. Ballistic meaning it's nuclear. Each one of those, now we'll call them targets, have an ICBM with their name on it. Those ICBMs will be coming from Russia. The Soviet Union, well, I won't even call it, I'll just refer to it as Russia from just Russia, not to, I don't want to confuse the youngsters. The Russians have enough nuclear weapons pointed at us to kill every living thing on this continent. 1,000 times over. Okay? 1,000 times over. We have the same pointed at them. Just in case you didn't know that either. And when I grew up during the Cold War, everybody was aware of it. It's a unique time in this world. I listened to the left, including a couple of rhinos, John McCain and Lindsey Graham, trying to rekindle the dangerous world attitude of the time, of the day back there, trying to rekindle the Cold War. I think I want to say, what did Donald Trump refer to it as them trying to start World War III? You know? Let me tell you something. Russia's not a joke. You can run around calling Vladimir Putin a killer and all this other shit. But they're not a joke. And unless you want to live in a world where every day you have to be scared that there's going to be a nuclear missile hitting you in the head, well, actually that wouldn't be so bad because you just wouldn't even know it happened. Just boom, be like lights out immediately, a millisecond, you know. I don't know about you, but I don't want to go back to that. I like Donald Trump's attitude. If we can get along with Russia, that's awesome. But they're forcing him not to, because that's what they want. Lindsey Graham and John McCain are insane. Well, Lindsey Graham, you know, it's funny because I think they're insane for different reasons. John McCain's just insane. I mean, he's got Alzheimer's or something. He's got dementia. I don't know what the deal is with John McCain. There's something very wrong there. He did just get reelected. Yeah. Lindsey Graham, on the other hand, does not have dementia or Alzheimer's. Lindsey Graham has what's called butthurtitis. Lindsey Graham got his ass kicked in the election. And not by a little bit either. He got stomped. Stomped. Like a bitch. Stomped. And I think his little ego's busted. I think he's pissed. So every chance he gets, he runs to a camera. He loves running to cameras. If it's CNN or MSNBC, he can't run fast enough to get in front of them and try to backdoor the president. I mean, same thing for John McCain. But you know, John McCain, it's so difficult because, you know, he went through hell in Vietnam and went through shit that I can't even wrap my head around. And I respect his service to the country, and I glory his service to the country and the things that he went through, but I can't give him a lifetime pass. I can't. He's an elected official. If he wasn't an elected official, I would give him a lifetime pass. But he's a freaking senator. So I got to call it out. You know, I think, you know, his handlers probably ought to have him checked out. I mean, some of the stuff he does and says, hell, even going back to, well, first of all, I don't know that he's ever been a committed Republican. I think he's always been a rhino. I think that when he won the nomination, you know, when he ran with Sarah Palin, I think that Sarah was a real conservative. She was a real Republican. I think John McCain wasn't. I think the conventional wisdom at the time was that, you know, we needed somebody like that to be able to win, which, no. No. You know, I think both of them should probably just switch parties. I know that it would throw the balance of power and all that stuff, but to be honest with you, I would at least rather that than the nonsense that happens now. I know a lot of people are going to be, you're a fucking idiot, then it would completely ruin everything, blah, 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 blah. I think they're conspiring to completely trick fuck Trump. I don't think in the end it's going to work out for us anyway, so they might as well come at it from their true colors. You know? And I don't know when Lindsey Graham's up for re-election. I know that John McCain just won re-election. I wasn't paying attention to Lindsey Graham. But if he is up for re-election anytime soon, I would be happy all the way from Toledo, Ohio, to donate to whoever wants to primate him. Hopefully there's a decent conservative Republican or a decent Republican in general who would be loyal to the party and the president. And it would be very cool if that person could then go ahead and give it a shot. I'd be happy to donate some money to that. I don't have a lot of money, but I could donate to it. And I would encourage everybody else to donate to it because Lindsey Graham needs primaried and hopefully needs toppled and hopefully lose his job. It's personal to him now, and you know, it is what. Anyway, blah 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 blah. Those are some thoughts down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. There will be a link to my book. Buy my book. Buy my book. Buy my book. Like I said, don't buy the hardcover. It's too expensive. Unless you really absolutely want to have the hardcover. It is a beautiful book. It is the evolution of my photography. So there's some really shitty pictures, and then there's some really great pictures. But I'm very proud of it. The next book that will come out will probably be in the spring, and it will be late spring probably. I don't know. Who knows? Could be next week. But it will be the evolution of my photography, volume number 2. The nudes. There are no nudes in this. I mean, there are some nudes, but they're implied nudes. So you don't get to see any nipple. You don't get to see any the JJ. You don't get to see any of that. But the volume 2, the nudes, you will get to see all of that and then some. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys. Everybody take care. Buy the PDF, $9.99. Link below.